Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
Also, if you are looking for something new and different for the upcoming Compliance Week celebration in November, check out The Compliance Kids. It's my 3-book children's series on compliance and compliance professionals for children. But they make great gifts and great training tools for your employees. You can check it out on Amazon.com. We've linked to it in the show notes. Today on the Daily Compliance News, we're going to take up one story that is so sprawling. I thought for the first time ever we would do only one story today, and that is the huge case brought by prosecutors against the Adani Group and the Adani Group chairman, Gautam Adani, and 7 others for orchestrating a $250 million bribery scheme to secure lucrative governmental contracts in India while misleading investors about the Adani Group's subsidiary dealings. Prosecutors accused the 62-year-old Adani and 2 of his relatives of defrauding investors, while other defendants bribed Indian government officials to secure government contracts for one of the world's largest solar projects. Obviously, this is a huge FCPA case. It's a criminal case, so it's been brought by the Department of Justice. The Securities and Exchange Commission has also filed a parallel action, and in this, they charge that the group deleted emails, electronic messages, and other relevant material. They falsely denied participating in the bribery scheme in meetings with the FBI, the DOJ, and the SEC. U.S. prosecutors have said this is an elaborate scheme to bribe Indian officials. What this means for the compliance professional is that, once again, the corruption spotlight has shined a very bright and very bad light on India. If you are doing business in India, you need to redouble your efforts and do a risk assessment to see where you may have pressure points. India is obviously one of the 2 biggest markets in the world behind China, and while China has many restrictions on it from U.S. trade controls and sanctions, India does not. So many U.S. companies are moving aggressively into India, and this sprawling bribery case really puts a very big exclamation mark on the dangers of doing business with India. These civil and criminal charges came in the wake of Hindenburg Research, a well-known short seller's report in January that accused another Adani Group of stock manipulation and accounting fraud, and that caused a huge dip in the company's revenues. But this is going to be one of the biggest FCPA cases in a long, long time. And for those who wondered what happened to FCPA enforcement, this may be part of the answer. As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.